Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be doing a K-pop album shelf tour as well as like a little Q&A. So to start off, I'm just going to take you to the top of my shelves. So if it's a bit shaky, I'm just holding the tripod because I don't have anything tall enough. So at the top here I just have like a little Unsang and then some of these Kang Daniel Cacao Friends like keychains. I just have some bits and bobs like a boba light from my friend, a little card from my friend. And then like a little postcard to remind myself that I have to believe in myself. And then I also have my most prized possession, which is this Jungho Polaroid up here. And I just have some season's greetings, like Saturday season's greetings and the ATEez season's greetings. With some ATEez Japanese posters behind there. I also have a painting that I did while during quarantine. And so that's the top. So we're just gonna move into the first shelf here. This is my red velvet shelf. I'm gonna try and put the tripod down. Yes, okay, this is my red velvet shelf. I don't have all of their releases just yet. Some of them are a little difficult to find. For example, like the automatic version of Ice Cream Cake. I've just been trying my best to find them. So I have their finale bigger ones here. And then I have the Summer Magic limited version, River Festival Day 1 version, and River Festival Day 2 version. Both of these are Yeri's version because that's who I collect. And unfortunately my Red Velvet collection is not in order, just because they jump around so much with their packaging style. This is like the only way I could fit it on the shelf since my whole shelf is now full. So we have the red, the velvet, the red perfect velvet, the perfect red velvet, RBB, and then we have Ice Cream Cake, the red summer, the normal version of Summer Magic, the guidebook version of River Festival Day 1, the scrapbook version of River Festival Day 2, these are guidebook, and then this is scrapbook version of finale, and then just rookie, this is Yeri's cover. And to answer one of the questions from Instagram, I think, the question was my favourite collection, and currently this is my favourite collection just because of how pretty it looks, and I just really like the way the shelf is. And moving on to the next shelf, we have my G-Friend and From Us 9 shelf. Oh gosh. So to start us off on this side, we have G-Friend all the way up until here. So we have the Season of Glass, Flowerbird, Snowflake. We have LOL, and I have the Laughing Out Loud version. Unfortunately, my G-Friend collection is really like sparse. I've been hoping to sort of make some more progress, but I just haven't been able to find any really without photo cards, because I've got all the photo cards I need. Then we have the Awakening, both versions of that. Then we have Parallel, just the one version, and then Rainbow, it only has one version. Then here I have Sunny Summer, the blue version, and the red. And then we have Time for the Moon Night. This is the moon version, I think. Then we have Time for Us, it's the night version. Oh gosh. And then we have Fever Season. Moving on into From Us 9, I have the blue version and the green version of To Heart, and I have Jihyun in the front here because she's my bias. And then we have both versions of Today, Day -1, Day -0, and then I also have From 9. I haven't got Fun Factory yet, just because I haven't been able to find them. I've actually had trouble finding them, and like even on K-Town For You they're not in stock. So when they come back in stock I will be picking those up. Moving on to the next shelf. This shelf is IZ*ONE and then some Miss Girl groups over here. So we have the colour version of Colour Eyes and then the rose version. Then we just have the heart, Violetta version of Heart Eyes. I just need to buy the Sapphire one. And then I have all the versions of Bloom Eyes. And then moving into a different group, we have the It's Different Pre-Order Benefit from It's Icy, and then both versions of It's Icy. And I have the Chelong page in one of them, this one, because that is who I collect. And then I have all the versions of It's Me, along with the Itzy A Paris, oh Paris A Itzy, the Pre-Order Benefit, which is stuck. Oh my gosh. And then we have both of Rocket Punch's releases, Pink Punch and Red Punch. Moving on to the next shelf. I have some girl groups and then my boy group collection, which admittedly is very small. Oh, you can see me. So here I have Luna, so I collect Olivia. So we have Olivia Solo, Go On and Olivia Hay. The normal version of their unit, oh gosh, and then the limited version of the unit. I haven't got any of their post-debut releases just yet. I've sort of been trying to get the pre-debut stuff sorted, and now that is, I've bought Hash or Sharp, whatever it's called. I have the normal A and B versions on their way. And then I have two versions, well, two copies of Saturday's their first physical I Know You Know. And then moving into my boy groups, I have Entity 127, the hashtag 127. Then I have Empathy. It's in release order, just because the units confuse me. So then we have Empathy, the reality version. Then we have Superhuman, the American press and the Korean press. Then I have 10's version of Super M. And then we have Take Over the Moon, just the first one, from Wavy. And then I have One Us, so I have their first album Light Us, their second album Raise Us. I do have the other version coming. I bought it a while ago, the person's just taking a while to send it out. And then I have Fly With Us, and then down here, because it's too long to fit on my shelf, I have In Its Time. Then here I have Kang Daniel's release, Colour on Me, and I do have his album Cyan on the way. And that is it for my main album shelves. I do have two more shelves sort of across the room, but I have also two more shelves on this set. I have to angle you down, my tripod's not small enough. This is my X1 shelf, along with like a couple light sticks. I have the 101 light stick, and then Saturday's little light stick. And here I just have X1's release, along with the One It kit. And moving over to the side, I have all of my 101 albums and then some misc. So I have my Cheongku bottle. I have this album, my Laboom I'm Yours album. I absolutely love Laboom. I just can't collect their albums. A lot of them are out of print and I can never find their photo cards anywhere. Oh my goodness. Everything's falling, but this is a prized possession of mine. Then I have Cherry Bullet's Love Adventure signed, and just some extra Paris A Itzy stuff, and then just some books that I like to read every now and then. So moving on into a short like Q&A section. I'll angle this up, move it back. This is what these shelves look like when they're all in view. So I made a little like list of some of the questions. I got quite a few, so I had to pick and choose, but I sort of have made a short list. So the first one is the first group I stand and what got me into collecting. So the first group I stand was actually Twice. That was also my first album, and it was their debut in 2015. Just because I stumbled across 16 on YouTube and really sort of was interested, and then I saw their debut, Like You Are, and I just sort of fell in love. I had to listen to them, I had to continue, so that's just carried on. And what got me into collecting, I've always had a collective personality. I've collected things since I was very small. Like I've collected rubbers and like bouncy balls and like Pokemon cards, everything, and then I just sort of fell into the collective like community in K-pop as well. Groups I stan but don't collect. Groups like Dreamcatcher, Elris, Dreamnote, Pentagon, 17. Some groups that I really love but just can't afford to collect, which is really frustrating. I really want to collect Dreamcatcher, which brings me into the next question, is groups I want to start collecting. I have thought about collecting Dreamcatcher and I think I'm going to collect the GU, but that's only in the future when Miss Rona decides to like leave. And also I have started collecting MCND. I am planning on collecting Minjae. I bought their album, so I'm very excited for that. Next question is, have I ever unstanned a group? Yes, this is not something I've ever talked about, ever. I collected OT9 EXO for a long time. I had all of their albums, every version, everything. Almost finished OT9 photo cards, but at the time I was very good friends with a big group of friends and we all stanned EXO together, and we had a lot of memories listening to their songs and just watching their concerts online. But then a lot of stuff happened and I eventually was removed from that friendship group because they all sort of blocked me on social media. Over text they ignored me in person, so I fell out with EXO. Along with that, listening to their music brings a lot of bad memories, a lot of sad times, so I just don't listen to them anymore. I do support them, I like vote for them when they have comebacks because I really do like the boys still, but I just can't listen to their music and nor see their albums or anything these days, which kind of sucks. But moving on from that is my favorite and least favorite things about the collecting community. My favorite things is like helping each other by trading and sort of completing collections together and having that real sense of community and making friends and just having this whole bubble in which you can stand people and sort of just having that community is really nice. My least favorite things is scamming. Can't stand it. It really boils my blood when people think they'll have no conscience that these people work hard for what they buy for and then trade and then they lose it. Is another thing is Polaroid printers, like people who take Polaroids that are on the internet, remove watermarks and then print them. That I hate it so much. I can't stand it. Ugh. And then have I ever thought about if collecting PCs or photo cards is worth it and what kept me going? Well, I actually have had major doubts in the past about whether collecting is sort of like what is it and why. My parents also have some very strong opinions on my collecting habits. I have thought about dropping everything at some points in life, but then what kept me going was it makes me very happy. It brings a lot of joy into my life. It gives me a sense of purpose outside of my degree. So I just think it's really nice to sort of have that escape away from real life sometimes. Just like a couple more before I move on to my next shelf is my favorite type of album packaging is a book form, like Luna. I really like the book forms of things like this. My least favorite is soft cover slip packaging. That might not make any sense to anyone, but it's like ITZY's new album. Like the album is a soft cover, and then the slip package is also a soft cover. Like it's really difficult to get out, and also like corners get bent when you try and put them back in. I hate it. I really don't like it. I'll put that back later. And so moving on to my next shelves, which are Twice and ATEEZ. Okay, so these are the next shelves. They're a bit taller, so I have to hold the tripod. Just on top we have some spare sleeves, a little dinosaur, some letters from my friends, and then just like a box of spares and extras. And then moving down to the first shelf, it is my ATEEZ collection. So I have 2 versions of episode 1, 2 versions of episode 2. One of them is signed, so that's why I have 2. I have a Wave and Illusion of episode 3, and then an A and Z of episode 4. No, this was episode 5, the epilogue, and then I have the Japanese releases. So I have the first one, Shift the Map, the A and B version, and then I have Map to Answer, A and B version. Moving down here, I have the A to E fan kit, episode Finn, A and Z, and then 2 more copies of A and Z here, their season's greetings, and then also their anniversary version of episode Finn. Then moving down, I have my Twice albums. My Twice collection could be better, but I don't think it's too crazy at the minute. I'm very happy with it. So I have The Story Begins, unfortunately with some damage that Amazon did. So, and then I have page 2, the mint, pink and chase cover version. I also have a stray Japanese album up here. So one of the questions was, what's my first album? It was Twice's page 2 mint version. I remember buying it and being very, very shocked at the size of it and the contents of it, since I'd never seen a K-pop album in my life before, and I collected jewel cases from regular artists before then, so I was very, very shocked. And then here I have both versions of Twice Coaster Lane 1. Then I have both versions of Lane 2, one version of Signal, one version of Twicegram, one version of Very Happy, and just the one version of What Is Love. It's this part of my collection that needs expanding. And then, oh gosh, moving down, I have my other albums from them. These are way too tall to stand up, so when I move house, hopefully they'll be stood up, but at the moment I just have them in a really weird order, just like size order. So you have Fancy down here, all 3 versions, just the one version of The Year of Yes, all 3 versions of Yes or Yes, 2 versions of Summer Nights, and then all 3 versions of Feel Special. And that brings us to this shelf, which I'll give you a quick view of. That is what this shelf looks like. And I'll just go through the last few questions that I got. It was, how tall am I? I'm actually very short. I am 5'1". Yes, I'm very short, unfortunately, which doesn't bode well at concerts at all, which was also another question. My favourite concert was '80s. I have not been to any other K-pop concerts, but I have been to a lot of non-K-pop concerts, like a lot of Five Singles Summer, One Direction, All Time Low, The Somerset, Pierce the Veil, Sleeping with Sirens, those kind of groups before I got into K-pop. This is sort of things related to YouTube channels and stuff like that. So it was advice for starting a channel. Something that I found is that I make sure that it's something I'm passionate about, like K-pop and collecting and all this kind of stuff is that I like to make my channel about, because I'm passionate about it, and then I feel proud and I like the content that I put out. It's something that keeps me going, doing it all the time. And then sort of don't let the dislikes on your videos or the hate or any comments affect you. This is something that you want to do. This is something that you like. Don't let anyone change that. Hardest part of having a channel whilst at school is the time. I currently do a biomedical science degree and I'm in my 2nd year, moving into 3rd year. It's a lot of time, a lot of effort to do that. And also the money. I am on a very small budget, a university budget. I don't live at home. I have to provide for myself. I only have a part-time job, which is 10 hours a week. Thankfully the UK has student loans, but it's still not a lot. I get very little. So it's making sure that I can buy within my budget and still have money left over should anything happen in my life. And then some underrated YouTubers that I watch are Fromis17, Nako Flowers, and Mihyos. I think that's how you say it. I really like those YouTubers. I watch their content a lot. Someone that I actually forgot to say, which I feel so bad because I watch their channel so much and I really like all their content, and they're also really super nice over message, is MX Harang. So I don't know how to say it. I'm really sorry if I butcher that, but I can't believe I forgot. It was a really busy day for me when I filmed this, so I really do love this channel. I definitely recommend that you check her out. And then just some others that I watch are Shawwell, ZL, Zen L, used to be Katie Takey, and then we have Honeydew Mochi, Trade Petals, and One Hade. They're my absolute faves, along with the underrated ones. I do watch some others, I just can't think of them right now, I'm sorry. And then the absolute final question is favourite second generation groups. I actually really love A-Pink, Miss A, and Sistar. I listen to them regularly. If I was like a K-pop stan around the time of their debut, I would have 100% got all their albums. I just love every single title track they've had. A-Pink, I really like it's absolute song of the year. Miss A, Breathe is my favourite song of theirs. Sistar, I just love them all, but I really like Shake It. It makes me happy when I listen to it. So that is the shelf tour / Q&A. If you've watched this far, thank you so much for sticking with me. I know I talk a lot and ramble, but thank you so much. And I also just surpassed my 1-year anniversary of having the channel, so thank you to everyone subscribed to me for that also. So thank you for watching.